Good afternoon from Bali, everyone. It's Anifa Menon from heartfelt, encouraging healthy grieving and mindful actions. Today is July 10th, and it's July 10th, at least here in Bali. I believe it will be July 10th soon all over the world. But I'd love for today for us to recognize that this is an official full moon day or night. And this full moon, it's so interesting that the last few full moons, I've had a lot of awareness about full moons, and I'm not one who normally watches moon cycles. I'm aware in general about them, and yet we can know that in the world, in many cultures and traditional cultures and religious organizations or calendars, the moon cycle is actually very important. And I know that I had written a blog post about the moon some time ago. I'll try to find that to put a link of it under this video. But today, because it's a full moon day, I thought what a perfect time to talk about this and what it can and does represent for our lives as human beings in this world. And I thought that it's very important to recognize that the moon has its cycles. We all know we've got, the quarter moons, the half moon, the full moon, and the new moon. All of this, we understand it intellectually, but what does it mean? And remember that our experience as humans is actually reflective of the experience of the earth around us, the world around us, the universe around us, and we are actually contributing to the experience of ourselves and nature around us. And you might be noticing that there's a lot of changes happening all over the world, and I'm talking about earth changes. So you might notice more natural calamities happening, and certainly we see whether there's flooding in some areas, whether there's earthquakes, whether there's volcanoes erupting. Certainly in Indonesia, I'm seeing this in a very small area and small relative to the entire world. And if we look at the entire world, there's definitely changes happening in the earth everywhere. So whether in the water, whether in the air, whether on the earth itself, whether in the wind, we can notice that there's definitely there's a force to everything and seems to break things down. It's whether tiles are coming off of rooftops or whether actual rooftops are coming off from wind or from rain, whether there's flooding and damage done this way. And this is really, again, an important representation of what's happening inside us, because many people are breaking down and many people aren't expressing this. And then many people, of course, I work in healthcare, and I'm aware that this non-expression of emotions or feelings and then just kind of bottling them up like everything's okay is the same as the construction that's happening all around the world, that everything's okay and yet something breaks down with the ground. I wanted to mention this first quotation to begin with on this full moon day. This is a day of really important intention. And so what our intention, our thoughts, our words, and our actions today actually do set the pace for the month. So I'm encouraging us all to think about these things and reflect on them and send out some healing energies. This quotation says, Western man, and I don't believe this is limited to Western man, I believe it's just man, but the quotation says Western man has no need of more superiority over nature, whether outside or inside. He has both in almost devilish perfection. What he lacks is conscious recognition of his inferiority to nature around him and within him. He must learn that he may not do exactly as he wills. If he does not learn this, his own nature, nature, will destroy him. He does not know that his own soul and the world's soul is rebelling against him in a suicidal way. Wow, that's a very profound last statement, and I'll read that part again. He does not know that his own soul land, the world soul, is rebelling against him in a suicidal way. And so we can imagine that if we take on too much for ourselves, whatever we're doing, and many people, whether here in Indonesia, and I certainly have seen it in Canada, I know it's happening in North America, I believe I will generalize it for the world, many people take on much more than what we can handle. So then what do we need? We need more help, so we'll ask other people to help, and maybe we need a little bit more land, so we're expanding our business so we grow it Yet we ourselves find, oh, now I have to pay another person because I'm working with more space, and now I've got less time with my own family because, I'm expanding, so I have to pay attention to this. But it's actually for the future. So even though I'm not with my family right now, for the future, I will be with the family at that point, and then we'll have everything we need. This happens again all around the world, that we think that if we get more, we'll have more to provide for our family, and we grew up with much less. So if we're able to have more, that's supposed to, many people believe, that would bring more peace to our family, our relationships, our world. And it doesn't. It actually creates a little bit of the conflict and the chaos that we see both within people, who I don't know what to do, but many people are confused. There's less peace, there's less conscious action towards loving, whether the earth or each other. And loving, I don't mean a passionate love, I don't mean a momentary fling. I mean deep, passionate, meaningful, giving love. And this love can be to a baby, or it can be to our workplace, or it can be to our home. It's what is here I give fully to. It's the workplace. It could be the people in our workplaces. It could be the desk that I sit at. It could be the corner that I look out of this window, and whichever way that I am appreciative and grateful. Yet most minds are so busy with the next thing to do that there's no actual present moment appreciation. Today, I would love for us all to focus on this, because this present moment, it would appreciate having a job. It would appreciate the land that I'm standing on, or sitting on, or walking through, or moving through. It would appreciate the people that are with me right here and now, fully present to whoever is with me right now. This is something that we have lost. Now, what does the land teach us? It's definitely present. It's, if some damage is done, it works to rebuild itself. It works to cover cracks, to other parts of land start moving into this space to try to heal again. And if we can understand this, we can do this with each other, yet we don't. What we do is we pull apart. This person hasn't treated me well, and they've created a crack in this relationship, and I move farther away. And I don't try to understand, what do you need from me? It's, what do I need from you? And this is where ego has taken over. And yet it's so useful to connect with the earth and recognize how much it teaches us about healing what is often broken by humans. But we can say that these can be natural disasters. That we say natural disasters, are they a consequence of what we as humans are doing, perhaps? And then, is it stemming from that basic appreciation? And if you look at every spiritual tradition, every religion, isn't there this gratitude towards God that is kind of that baseline? If we think of everything that we see around us, whether it's people, whether it's trees, whether it's the earth or the water, do we see that all came from God? Are we appreciating it and grateful for it? Because taking a few minutes to do that every day, I believe, would allow the earth to recognize that we care. And everyone blooms from knowing that they feel cared for, and that's the earth is a reflection of us. Is it cared for? And here I know in Indonesia, which I like this aspect more than in North America, where I don't see so much conscious rituals, and I'm not particularly fond of rituals, but there is the intention of, if land is being used to build something on it, that there are rituals here about thanking the land, and that gratitude, if it's done from the heart. Because again, rituals move into a space of, okay, we have to say these words, and we do this, and we go through this. And from what I see here, that even though the intention was about truly appreciating it, which is what Native Indians did in Canada, we just don't do that anymore. So whether it's traditional tribes not so much doing this anymore, or whether it's currently, why is it not so much? It's because it's not so much from the heart, that even though the actions are being done, I don't know how much heart is in it. And then in that heart space, it's not just for that day where land is being broken to make something new. It's about everyday appreciation. So this is where the heart is still connected with the earth, which is giving us every blessing that we've got to live on. And right now, I believe the lands are not so happy. I know that before I came to Indonesia in my first trip here, I was writing a lot of poetry at that time, and there was a poem that I wrote, and it was definitely about this. And I know that all of this is coming back to this mind currently, As I also look at the healthcare system that's breaking down, just like land is breaking down, just like the oceans and the air, it's all changing and not so happy. And if we can see this, that it starts with us, and what are we doing? Whatever we've got right now, if we can be appreciative and appreciative of the divine that's coming through that. So even that coworker that I don't really like, the fact that I have a coworker, I'm not sitting alone without a job, is nice. And for me, the nicest thing is I am alone. And I'm grateful for the air around me, the sky above me, the land beneath me, the water that I drink, everything. There's so much to be grateful for, and knowing that divine energy is coming through this. I wanted to finish on this quotation, or with this quotation by Carl Jung, and it says, "Natural life is the nourishing soil of the soul. It is the body, the feeling, the instincts, which connects us with the soil." Can you feel how this land is communicating to us? Things are breaking down. So I know in my time here in Indonesia and Bali, I've certainly experienced a few earthquakes. And boy, that's the rumbling of the earth, of saying something's not right. I need you guys to wake up. This is how it's waking us up. When there's storms above and around us, aren't we seeing that nature is saying, wake up, that there's something not right? And it's starting with us. Are we appreciating and valuing what we have today? Today, I leave you with that thought. It is again a full moon day today, day or night. And if we actually connect with this intention, a full moon is a beautiful time to recognize this as a full moon. It brings light to what is being kept in the dark. And I'd like to bring some light to some of the things that are being kept in the dark. And you know that I'll be making more videos about what kind of things are being kept in the dark in healthcare, and how can we move from that darkness to light with love, compassion, integrity for both the care providers and the care receivers, which we all are in all of our roles wherever we are. Today, I wish you a fabulous day or night of reflecting about this full moon and our connection with the earth and the world around us. And I wish you a fabulous day or night of reflecting on this awareness. Transform your mind and transform your life. Have a great day or night, everyone.